New player learns Valorant day number 17. We're starting off here again with some frame analysis of my easy bot overflicking drill. And when we did this, I was much more consistent today with pressing the D key as soon as I start moving my mouse, where I'm averaging between, 0 to 2 frames max on the easy bots, as well as starting my flick within the acceptable frame window of like 15 to 20-ish frames. Now that I had this more dialed in on the easy bots, I wanted to take it up to the medium to see if I carried over or if the psychological pressure from going into medium bots was too much for my feeble mush inside of my skull. Now, when I started up the video doing the analysis, I thought I was doing pretty good. I wasn't shooting, I was just doing the moving part to try to get that down because that drill was significantly easier than adding in the clicking. But I noticed something early in. I was anticipating the bot spawning and then pre-moving and flicking. I did start the flick and the movement at the same time, but you can see I'm moving over in the direction before the bot even spawns, which is very bad. I need to be reacting to the bot, or else I'll half the time be moving in the incorrect direction because it's a 50-50. And while I do normally feel pretty lucky, this is a bad habit, and I'm glad I broke this down frame by frame to figure it out. We're continuing our quest for good gunfight hygiene, and I managed to land some better bursts today, but we also are still having a similar issue, so I decided to run it back even slower in slow-mo. And in this clip we can see I'm pressing the A key as soon as I'm pulling the trigger, which is causing movement error. And I reviewed some other clips and I'm seeing this exact same problem. So after I shoot, I need to wait till I release the trigger, then press the A key, and I need to mentally cue that in my mind. So now we have another fight where we can see what's happening here. And here it looks like I'm trying to burst, but for some reason I'm pressing them both at the same time every time, which is kind of a weird problem I never would have imagined. I guess I'm mentally trying to pause here, and then I shoot, and then as soon as I cue the shooting in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm good to press the arrow key. But what I have to do is say, take a deep breath, wait, now shoot, or now move. Then later on in my death matches, I thought I could maybe help resolve this issue by trying a little bit of the sheriff, and it went pretty well after I got the hang of it, where it kind of helped me just take the time to pause. They didn't all go super well, but I did manage to start getting the timing down a bit better. But I need to get it down with the vandal as well, so maybe I'll try to do half sheriff, half vandal, and combine that into a victorious combination. Now, in this next fight, when I watched it back, I noticed that my movement error got worse as this protracted battle went out. So we kill the first Cypher with 2 pretty clean strafes. I guess it's 1 strafe, 1 missed shot. And then here, we're attempting to do it again, and I am having that problem where I'm inputting the movement key and the mouse click at the same time. I had identified this at the time, so hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to do better at this. And then I go for some dead zones here against the harbor, I think that is, and I actually managed to hit these dead zones pretty well, so I guess that dead zone practice in the morning is paying off. Now, I think after this I have some more failed strafes. Now 30% slow is pretty painful to watch, but it's helpful for being able to see the arrow keys without having to scrub through frame by frame. Now let's get the instant replay on that. It does look like I went for a dead zone here and just messed it up a little bit. Now this next engagement is where my gun hygiene starts to deteriorate in this fight, where I'm going for this Cypher, and I hold the D key down, trying to get to cover, I guess, might be what I'm thinking, but I should have stopped and just shot him in the head, and then now I'm just shooting while holding the D key. We did manage to have a bit better gunfight hygiene today, and I really drilled into the fights, which is probably what I should have done earlier, and we managed to identify, where I'm actually falling behind. Because I knew that I was rushing my shots, but now I know I'm actually rushing the movement after the shots, which is a big difference, and it's because I took the time to scrub frame by frame and play this playbacks slower so I can actually see how my inputs are being buffered by the system. Now, going into our 2 casual games on the grind to level 20, we ended up playing relatively okay for the first game. The second game, My team surrendered on like round 5, and I didn't even notice I wasn't recording until after we surrendered. So I don't have evidence of that game other than the screenshot. One thing I noticed today reviewing the video is that my headshot percentage was really low, and I don't know if it's because like in the death matches I'm just like I'm trying to aim for headshots like only. So I think it's becoming this like psychological block where because I'm doing so many headshots in the deathmatch that I just don't have confidence, which you would think it'd be the other way around, but I think once I become successful in the deathmatches, it'll teleport back over into the actual games. Now I probably should take some time and try to do that, but it's not like I'm getting no carryover because I am playing better generally. Now that could just be learning the game, positioning, rotations, all these other nonsense terms you hear people use when they talk about the game. Look at that, those were some okay bursts. What are we gonna do here, a little peekaboo? Nothing. That was kind of an insane peek. Not an insane in a good way, like only an insane person would peek like that. Which is kind of my preferred playstyle, right? It's like, oh, there's no way a sane person would be here, and then I'm just there. I actually really like this skin. I've never seen a skin I liked, but this one's actually pretty cool. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. So that was interesting. I ended up dropping a 30 bomb this game. I think that's what the cool kids are calling it. I saw Jet smoke there, so I decided to run into it because I assumed she was going to dash into it. And I was full HP, and she just fought at my teammate. I had no comm, she was low, but you know, I was confident I could win the duel. Now overall, my 2 games today went pretty well. I was winning a lot of fights. The only problem is my headshot percentage was low, so we'll have to be aware of that going into tomorrow and hopefully focus on, you know, hitting some more headshots. We finished the day off with day 11 or 10 of Woohoochun's 90-day aim challenge, and we hit 2 new high scores. Let's go! Not 1 today, and not 0. A goal accomplished.